Once you've successfully applied for KU Leuven, it's time to start preparing for your stay. There are 3 important things you must deal with before coming to KU Leuven: your immigration requirements, your housing, and your registration with our university. Let's start with the immigration requirements. Foreign nationals may need a visa, residence permit, or work permit to enter Belgium. What you need exactly will depend upon your nationality. EEA nationals and Swiss nationals do not need a visa to enter Belgium.
Most non-EEA students will have to apply for a long-stay visa, also known as a Type D visa, and they will do so at a Belgian embassy or consulate in their home country. You will only be able to apply for a visa after the official admission by our university, and of course, you will need to apply for a visa before traveling to Belgium.
When applying for a student visa, there are a few documents you'll need to gather first, including a valid passport, proof of permission to register with the university, and proof of solvency. If you have any questions about the documents you might need, you can find information on the website.
Apart from your visa, you will always have to visit the local website of your Foreign Affairs office to check on the latest requirements for traveling to Belgium. In case of a global pandemic, for example, you will need to meet other requirements apart from your visa before being allowed entry to the country.
Secondly, you'll need to start looking for housing. The sooner you start, the more options you have. So try to do this as soon as possible, ideally before summer. In Belgium, there are 2 types of accommodation: university residences or private accommodation. Most students choose to rent a room, or a cot as they call it here, in privately owned student accommodation with shared common spaces and facilities. These rooms can vary greatly in terms of size, luxury and price. About 20% of our students, and most of our international students, choose a university residence. These are far larger in size, like this, and can have up to hundreds of students in one residence. The rooms here are more uniform in terms of price and size. Whatever type of housing you prefer, our website is a great place to start. Choose the location where you want to find housing. This will depend on the program you're enrolled in. Each campus has different tools available to help you search for accommodation. But there are a few general guidelines to keep in mind. First, know what type of housing you're looking for and for how long. Some contracts are for 10 months and others are for 12, so check this before you sign anything. Second, we advise you look for accommodation using our official databases to avoid the risk of internet fraud. If you have any doubts about the practices of a landlord, contact the housing services before you sign anything or transfer any money. Third, read your contract thoroughly before signing anything. Most contracts will be written in Dutch, and there is no legal obligation for landlords to provide you with English translation. As an international student, that could be very challenging. However, we have a few ways to help you. First, you can always come to the Student Housing Service. The staff there will help you with any translations you may need. Second, the KU Leuven has developed model contracts for landlords. You can recognize these by the KU Leuven logo. We recommend that you sign these sorts of contracts, and if not, please contact the Housing Service before you sign anything. When studying at the main campus in Leuven, look for student accommodation that has the blue or green cot label. These labels are attached to buildings in a clearly visible manner. That way, students can verify at a glance that these buildings comply with norms regarding quality of living, fire safety, contracts, and student friendliness. Once you've read the contract and made a decision, it's time to sign. This can be done from abroad by scanning a signed version of the contract, digitally signing the contract, or arranging everything through postal mail. Discuss this with your landlord. When you conclude a contract, the landlord can ask you to pay a deposit. The contract should clearly state the amount of the deposit and how you're supposed to pay it. A deposit refers to a portion of money collected as security or collateral for delivery of a good. For student accommodation, the deposit should be paid at the earliest 3 months before the start of the contract. Ask your landlord how and when they'll reimburse the deposit once the contract has expired. And don't forget to arrange a date to collect your keys from your new home away from home.
Now that you've sorted your visa and accommodation, you can really start preparing for your stay at the university. It's a good idea to start the registration process before you arrive. You'll get an email when the registration process opens. From then, you can fill out your information in the registration module, which will start the enrollment process. Make sure to use your admission letter as a reference when filling this out. During the process, you're able to add a few benefits to your application for minimal cost, including a bus pass, fitness card, and extra insurance. 3 to 5 days after submitting this information, you'll receive information about how to activate your student account, email address, and Wi-Fi. You'll also be invited shortly for a diploma check. We'll make sure to keep you informed of all initiatives and updates related to your studies at KU Leuven, so make sure to keep an eye out for our email communications. We also certainly recommend getting involved with the welcome activities organized, such as the orientation days. These events will be the perfect opportunity to get all the information you need about your studies here, as well as meeting other international students. Speaking of meeting other international students, the Pengai Meeting Center is without a doubt the beating heart of our Leuven campus. It's a fantastic place to start your adventure. We hope this video was informative, and don't forget to check out our website for more information. If you can't find what you're looking for, don't hesitate to contact the staff of KU Leuven. They'll do their best to help you. Can't wait to see you soon.